Okay, so I got another viewer's request or subscriber's request, and I thought it was such a great topic. So this person asked, how do we shift into self-concept fast, right? So I'm going to talk to you about that, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Kim Velez, Conscious Life and Success Coach, and I'm really happy to be here with you today. I truly want to say that I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are fucking amazing, and I really love your support and the comments, so thank you so much for that. Okay, so I fucking love talking about self-concept, as you probably can tell. But before we dive into that, if you feel like you need additional support other than my free content, then I do have many different ways that you can work with me. I have online courses such as how to manifest your SP back and keep them for good. I also have the You Are the Prize. It's all about your self-concept in regards to love. And I have a paid Facebook group. I also have a Zoom coaching group. I just have many different really fun ways to keep working with me or working with me so that you keep building the momentum to keep you on point, if that's what you need. So everything is below. Go to my master list. My website is down right now because they literally are redoing it. So that'll be unveiled soon. Okay, so enough about that. Let's talk about self-concept and how do you shift into the self-concept that you want the fastest? Because we're all about trying to get a different feeling, a different, reality, a different whatever, as soon as we possibly can. Now, it's a beautiful process. It literally is an internal transformation, but you don't have to make this fucking hard. This really isn't hard. And a lot of you are coming from law of attraction to law of assumption, which thank goodness, because your eyes are gonna fucking be wide open when mine were too once it all clicked for me, right? So before I dive into how to shift into that self-concept the fastest, I want to remind you of the fucking basics that we're dealing with here, right? How fucking powerful you are. So let's look at this. We have your thoughts create your reality. We are dealing with law of assumption, which says what you think in your mind, assume, is what will manifest. So what we're doing is you are literally going within and focusing in your powerful, beautiful brain, a new concept of self, right? And when you do that, this is what happens is your 3D has to shift, shape, mold, conform to match your new self-concept. And everyone has to reflect that back to you. So you persist in it and you persist in it until it literally hardens into fact, until you wake up one day and you're just like, oh yeah, this is me. I just know this to be true. So that's when it becomes a natural assumption. Now, usually what happens is as you're reprogramming, if that's what you need to do, you convince yourself of this, that you reprogram your mind where now in your subconscious, this is the new self-concept that pumps out, right? Also, it gets reinforced in your 3D when your 3D starts to mirror and reflect back to you that new self-concept, okay? So let's have fun with this because I think you guys, the fastest way to do it is pick who the fuck you want to be. Like it's really that simple. Who do you want to be? We are always choosing a self-concept in so many different areas of our life, right? I have a self-concept of me as a coach. I had one as a therapist. I have one as the gym girl. I have another one as, in love, with business, friends. Like you are always having a self-concept. Now, depending on what you want, that's what you need to decide. Who the fuck do I want to be? Like literally you get to choose. How fun is this? You get to say, you know what? This is who I want to be now. I'm done with the old version. In this area of my life, this is who the fuck I am. So whether it's confident, loved, valued, cherished, chosen, or it's rich bitch energy, right? Or a millionaire or wealthy or successful, or maybe you're like, I just want peace. I want inner peace and happiness. And whatever it is, all you have to do is decide, what do you want? Who do you want to be? And how do you want people to show up and see you, right? That is the power of your self-concept. When you start affirming a new story of who you are, people have to see you that way. So a lot of you, I'm going to give you some different examples. A lot of you have been very sweet and complimenting me on, saying that I'm glowing up, right? Which, I'm all about the glow up, right? But also just saying like, oh my God, you look more beautiful in every video. So thank you so much for that. That's super sweet. I appreciate those beautiful compliments. And I, posted, I think it was yesterday, the affirmation that I use. And I say this affirmation, I've been saying it, 5 months now. And I probably say it like 2 or 3 times a week, maybe once in a while, once a day if I can remember. But I literally just say I'm the most beautiful, attractive, sexy as fuck, desirable woman in the world. Okay, that's it. So there you go. So start saying that and watch your 3D start shifting. Okay, watch how you start changing, and you have to conform to how you see yourself, and so does the world have to reflect that back to you. So this is the fun part. You decide, who do you want to be, and how do you want to feel, and what is the version of you that you think is going to be something that you want. And it's really, to me, self-concept is really the wish fulfilled. Because when you look at your old self-concept is a version of you that feels like something's missing, right? That doesn't have something, and it doesn't necessarily have to be external. It could be something internal, like they don't feel loved, they don't feel valued, they don't feel good enough, they don't feel worthy, they don't feel happy, they don't feel content, right? That's all of this is internal, but I'm just saying that these are states and self-concepts of you, obviously, if we're saying self, that is about, feeling something different, being a different version of you. So when we look at the old self-concept doesn't have this, the old self-concept doesn't feel good enough, doesn't feel loved and wanted, doesn't feel rich and successful and confident and excited, right? So when you're moving into the new self-concept through affirming, through choosing a couple sentences of who you are now, right? And you persist in that new story in your mind and you focus on that in here, and you can also see yourself as that way, right? You can do visualizations, you can script about it, you can talk about how your day, how you woke up, you felt this way, and how many, this person said that to you. That is like literally affirming your self-concept, right? To support your mental diet, right? So when you're in the old self-concept and you're going into the new self-concept, that's literally you shifting into a new reality. So it's you and the wish fulfilled. So you're being the person that is already has what they want, whatever the fuck it is. And that's how powerful you are. So one of the other affirmations I started using recently is, I've overcome this. I'm not that person anymore. I already overcame that. Like, that's what I'm affirming, because I think a lot of times, I know I caught myself in this when we're manifesting something in, or we're going through our own inner transformational work and breaking that old story. A lot of times we can feel like the version of us that's still struggling in this, or the version of us that is still in the midst of it and hasn't overcome this yet. So if that's you, then start affirming, oh no, I already overcame that. This is who I am now. Oh my God, it feels so good. And boom, go right to the end. See, everything is very similar. We just say it differently, but it's always about being in the self-concept that you're at your end result. Whatever it is that you want, be that version. Affirm that through your mind. That is all you have to do. And you just persist in it. This is not hard. It's just, if we have programming that needs to be reprogrammed, then that's where the constant effort comes in. But other than that, like, that's what you're doing, guys. We're not fucking saying like climb Mount Everest or fucking walk over fucking hot lava. We're saying focus your fucking mind. Focus your mind on your thoughts to be the badass whatever you want to fucking be. Focus your mind on the fucking self-concept that says, I have what the fuck I want. Focus your mind on who the fuck you want to be, this beautiful version of you, because you can pick infinite versions of you all the time. So I would also, assume, like, don't drive yourself crazy with this. Like, see, I say one affirmation about myself. Every once in a while, if I notice a thought that comes up maybe about my body or something, and if it's not favorable, then I, flip it, or I reaffirm a more favorable thought, right? But you stick it the fuck out. Like, you have to stop giving up on you. You have to understand the power of your mind, and that the more you're focusing on a favorable self-concept, the more your 3D is shifting and conforming to that self-concept. And a lot of you, when you start doing this, you really feel a new version of you. And let's talk about that, because your thoughts create your feelings. So when you start affirming a new self-concept, you will eventually feel better. You will eventually shift into the internal state of the version of you that feels that way. Now, everyone's different. Some people, they do it instantly. Some people, it takes a couple days. Some people, it's taken like 3 weeks for them to just feel different. And here's why. your dominant thoughts are what you're reprogramming in a sense, right? So if you have this old self-concept that says, I don't get what I want, I'm not lucky, things suck, life's hard, nobody chooses me, I'm rejected, I'm broke, what the fuck ever it is, this story has been turning over and over and over and over for a really long time, right? So when you start affirming a new story, your thoughts create your feelings. So the more you're affirming your new self-concept, when that becomes more dominant than the old self-concept, you will start feeling more and more of an internal shift of your emotions. And that's good because that's how you should be feeling if you're affirming a story that's favorable for you. Now, you don't have to feel in order to manifest, but you will naturally shift how you feel the more you're focusing on a self-concept that feels good, the more you're focusing on a story that feels good. So this is the work for you, is to just stick it out. Keep affirming every day. Now, you may only have to say a self-concept affirmation like I was doing once a day because, listen, I didn't have deep programming that said otherwise. I was just like, oh, let's have fun with this. Let's see how powerful I am and just see if I affirm this one sentence a day, what happens, right? That's what I've been doing. And it's amazing. It makes me feel good. I love it. And I see it manifesting, and reflecting back to me all the time. So you can do something like that. Now, if you're trying to change a self-concept that is, that needs to be reprogrammed, like I'm worthy of this, I'm deserving, I'm good enough, et cetera, then you may need to affirm more, right? That's okay. Just keep affirming. Make it about you. It's always about you. You're the fucking star of your show. If you weren't here, you wouldn't fucking care about any of this. So your primary focus should always be you and what the fuck is going on in here. And then whatever it is external from you, you sprinkle some affirmations about. But you should be the dominant, the dominant story of who the fuck you are, because everybody has to conform in your 3D to see you as such. All right. So have fun with this. Drop in the comments the new self-concept that you want to be. You guys support each other as you always do. And I can't wait to hear how your 3D starts shifting and conforming to this new self-concept. All right, so if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.